Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And you know what? We've all misjudged Julius Malema. And one of my misjudgments was calling him Chicken Man Malema. You know what we need to call him? Julius Chameleon Malema. Now, for those of you who don't know what a chameleon is, if you're in Africa, you certainly do. Let me show you. You see how it changed its colors depending on the environment it's in? Quite an amazing animal, but very much feared by the Africans in Africa. In fact, when I was a little boy living in East Africa, I had a pet chameleon, and I used to put it on my shoulder. And I'd go through the market in Naringa, during the rush hour, and there would be hundreds of Africans milling around, and normally there's no way you could get through. But with this chameleon on my shoulder, it was like the waters parting. You just went straight through, and they're all going, how, how, how. So that's my experience with a chameleon personally, and the way the Africans see it. So I think Julius Chameleon Malema could be a better option. I need you guys to put your comments down below and tell me whether you think Chicken Man is better for Julius or whether Chameleon is better for Julius. Now, why are we talking about chameleon? Because you know how the chameleon changes its color depending on where it's at? Julius Malema changes his narrative depending on where it's at. He talks BS the whole time, let's face it. Let me give you a bit of the background to the story. Economic freedom fighters leader Julius Malema thinks South Africa would be a boring country without white people and would hate to see them go. Yeah, we're talking about the same guy. He said, we're not talking about killing the whites yet. Remember that famous statement by Julius Malema? Now, why has there been this huge turnaround? Well, let me tell you why. Malema addressed scores of EFF supporters outside the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court on Friday, apparently repudiating the perception that he is inciting a white genocide. The EFF commander-in-chief faces charges of contravening the Riotous Assemblies Act for urging people to occupy any unoccupied land of their choice. Civil rights group AfriForum initially laid the charges against Malema following his calls for land invasions during the party's 2014 elective conference in Bloemfontein. Now, it's so amusing that Malema is spending his life in court now because AfriForum have basically got him on a rope. He must be ruining the day that AfriForum came around, that's for sure. Chameleon! Anyway, let's see what he says. The matter was postponed to July the 27th, pending the outcome of Malema's application challenging the constitutionality of the act, which is to be heard before the High Court in Pretoria on April the 23rd. And although Malema stuck to his guns regarding land invasions and expropriation, he also struck a reconciliatory tone. Now, that's a bit of a change, saying that there was no need for whites to be scared, since the EFF manifesto did not say white people should be driven out of the country. It gets better. This is what Malema said. South Africa would be a boring country without white people. We complement one another. They have naturalized here. It means they're like the trees in the mountains. Can you imagine one day you wake up and there are no trees? That will not be the South Africa we know. We want to live with them. We want them to excel, not because they are white, but because they have a particular skill. Well, guess what, Julius? Here's a wake-up call. Because of BEE and because of triple BEE and all the other variants, those skilled white people are unemployed and living in poverty because of the racist ANC policies. When are you going to take the ANC government to task over that? No, not going to happen. This is a chameleon we're looking at right here. Anyway, let's continue with the story. Several buses were parked on streets around the court, which were used to transport supporters dressed in their signature red EFF regalia. They sang and cheered in support of their leader. The sea of red members applauded and whistled when Malema again encouraged them to occupy vacant land as outlined by the Freedom Charter, saying he was not afraid of jail. Malema was accompanied by EFF spokesperson Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, General Secretary Godrich Gadi, and Chairperson Dali Mpomfo. Now, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi was a fellow who, at the State of the Nation address, had this very expensive set of apartments all rented out at the cost of the EFF. Approximate cost was about 85,000 Rand for the few days they were there, and about a quarter of that went to liquor. But infamous Ndlozi, who apparently is not married, was staying in an apartment where a whole bunch of used condoms were found. And I think we might actually call Mbuyiseni Ndlozi Mbuyiseni Condom Ndlozi. What do you guys think? And I'd love your comments about that one as well. Anyway, Malema said, this is continuing with his chameleon side, "We are not killing anyone. We are not creating genocide. What we want is to occupy the unoccupied land as a demonstration of our seriousness to return land into the hands of the landless masses of our people. For that I am prepared to go to prison. They can lock me up for having said the poor must have a roof over their heads and have a place called home," he said to his cheering supporters. Now, guess what? I think your wishes are going to come true, Julius. I think you're going to be Julius Jailbird Malema very shortly. But in the meantime, I like that word chameleon. As I said, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Please remember to subscribe, to be kept informed, ring the bell to get the updates, and have a great evening. Bye for now. Just a side note. Remember a couple of weeks ago I talked about the EFF having about 37,000 or 37,500 subscribers, and we were just behind them. We were kind of hanging on their tail there. Well, I've just checked their subscriber number, and they've got 38,044, and guess where we're at? Over 43,000. The number of subscribers on this channel has grown by 3,000 in the last week, which is quite incredible. Congrats to everybody who's joined. Congrats to all my older subscribers. Let's keep this party going, guys. Alrighty, take care.